as we all know, there was a little bit of arm soreness development. So I'm going to put this at the beginning of this video and speak together about what the Browns media is doing. We've been talking about it, but it's a concerted effort. When the national news talks about it, when the Browns media talks about this quarterback battle, it's a clear, stark difference. And starting with this arm soreness thing, because they're trying to blame Shedeur Sanders for it when all the communication has been the team pulled him out. But now they're saying,
what happens when the Cleveland Browns draft Shedeur Sanders, then suddenly act like he's some fragile project wrapped in caution tape? You get a riddle disguised as a depth chart and hidden behind a suspicious injury report. Let's be real, Shedeur's not sidelined because he's hurt. He's benched because he's too good, and the Browns don't know how to handle it. Is this football or the pilot episode of a streaming thriller called Sabotaging QB1? Strap in, this situation is uglier than their postseason chances.
And you see right here, his name is Daryl Reuter. He works for the Cleveland 92.3 The Fan. It's a sports radio show in Cleveland. He speaks on the Cleveland Browns, he covers it, but he just exposed the Cleveland Browns and on their motives and what they got going on. He explains to you how Dylan Gabriel is who the Cleveland Browns the whole time was preparing for and getting ready. I've been exposed this myself, but I'm giving you the groups of people who everybody else respects and likes.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe Shedeur Sanders to the channel. It helps more than you think. The Cleveland Browns stared at their chaotic QB situation, decades of head-scratching decisions, and deep-rooted fear of actual leadership, and thought, why not make things even dumber? Giving Shedeur Sanders the fewest reps in camp? That was just the teaser trailer. Now comes the feature film. Suddenly he's got a sore arm, like he's some rare artifact that might crack if you breathe too hard. This isn't caution, it's comedy. And unfortunately for Cleveland fans, it's a rerun.
Of the Cleveland Browns, it's been reported that he did not receive any reps today during practice at the Cleveland Browns.
Dancing this morning today.
Now, it's also been
did he have that on
reported
yesterday?
that Sanders had
I think he did.
stiffness in his arm or his shoulder, his sore. I don't know. There you can see up there on the screen. That's the person that reported. That's Zach Jackson. You know, he be at every practice. I guess he talked to the staff member of the Cleveland Browns, but I never known Shedeur to hold out a practice because soreness of an arm.
This is the same Shedeur who, when asked how he felt, basically hit us with the athlete equivalent of "I'm ready to run through a brick wall." But sure, asterisk arm soreness, asterisk that checks out. Only the Browns could botch the simplest part of developing a young, talented quarterback, actually letting him practice. He's not demanding a raise, staging a meltdown, or turning the huddle into a reality show. All the guy wants is reps, the bare minimum any rookie needs to grow. But even that's apparently too much for Cleveland to get right.
0 team reps for Shedeur Sanders in training camp practice today. It's the first time this entire training camp that the 5th-round rookie out of Colorado has gotten 0 reps in team drills. It just came out, being reported by Daniel Ofusi on X, that Shedeur Sanders did not participate in team drills today due to arm soreness. Okay, if that's the reality, if that's true, then fine. I guess we'll see come Monday if Shedeur is back out there taking snaps during the team drills, because I'm telling you guys, he needs reps because the first preseason game is Friday night in Carolina.
But not in Cleveland. Nope. In Cleveland, showing real talent is practically a punishable offense. Shedeur's biggest mistake? Being too sharp, too fast, and too composed. He's out there making smart decisions like it's second nature, and that's got the staff scratching their heads. They're probably still trying to decode how he stays cool under pressure, or how he diagnoses defenses faster than they can finish saying cover 2.
Shedeur Sanders was not able to throw in practice on Saturday.
A week ago, the Browns had 4 healthy quarterbacks. As we stand here today, they really only have 2 that can get through a full practice. So Sanders says he had a sore shoulder. Remains to be seen if it's serious. Don't think it is now. But when you throw in the fact that Kenny Pickett has a hamstring, he's doing individual drills, wants to get going, wants to do team drills, says he's frustrated, but they're not going to let him do it.
Let's talk about this so-called arm soreness. You can practically hear the coaching room brainstorming excuses. We can't say he's too good. That would make us look incompetent. Let's say, ah yes, arm soreness. That sounds harmless enough. Vague. Mysterious. Unprovable. Meanwhile, Shedeur's walking around, launching passes and warm-ups like he's auditioning for a NASA satellite launch. The only soreness around here is in the egos of whoever realized he was outperforming the vet QBs without breaking a sweat. It's not just insulting. It's vintage Browns. They finally stumble across a quarterback who's charismatic, hyper-focused, mentally sharp, physically unbothered, and cool under pressure. And their response is to bubble wrap him and shove him in the medical tent. What next? They going to say he blinked too hard and sprained a retina? The real kicker? This arm soreness report doesn't even come with receipts. No scans. No tape. No rehab schedule. Just vibes. It's like calling in sick to work without even bothering to fake a cough. Meanwhile, the guy is literally standing on the sideline tossing darts to waterboys and looking like he's seconds away from calling his own number. If he's injured, then so is Tom Brady every time he sneezes near a football.
Man, the Cleveland Browns organization is boo-boo water, bruh. At the end of the day, Shedeur said that y'all lied about his shoulder injury. You know what I'm saying? Talking about arm soreness. No, what y'all did, y'all pulled him out so y'all can put Dylan Gabriel ahead of him. Dylan Gabriel ain't even tall enough. Stop it. And one thing I do know, Kevin Stefanski, the locker room is gone. Separate themselves from you, bruh. And then you gotta think about it. If the vets don't agree with the quarterback that you choosing to play ahead of the quarterback who they all voted for and more confident with, I wouldn't be surprised if they be slipping blocks and just let people come in and knock his helmet off.
But let's be honest. This isn't about health. This is about politics. And not the Capitol Hill kind, the training camp drama, veteran protection, pecking order nonsense that franchises like the Browns cling to like a security blanket. Shedeur showed up, executed like a pro, and suddenly the QB hierarchy felt a little wobbly. The veterans looked nervous. The clipboard holders got defensive. And the coaching staff? They started blinking Morse code to the front office like, we might have drafted someone better than our starter. Abort mission. It's the NFL version of high school cafeteria jealousy. The new kid walks in, stylish, confident, pulling up from deep with no hesitation, and now everyone's hiding their sandwiches and pretending they didn't see it. So the coaches do what passive-aggressive coaches do best, claim an injury. Nothing serious, of course. Just enough to derail his rhythm and buy time for everyone else to catch up. Arm soreness is football's "the dog ate my homework," overused, under-evidenced, and suspiciously convenient. You'd think, with all the years the Browns have spent cycling through quarterbacks like socks, they'd want someone who actually looks like a franchise guy. But that would require making decisions based on merit instead of fear.
So yesterday I made a video saying I wouldn't buy no stock into it, but apparently the fact that he self-reported the soreness himself, I can't, if it's from the horse's mouth himself, what am I gonna say? But this is from Mary Kay saying that it's significant because he's still involved in the 4-way competition for the starting job and wouldn't miss a snap unless he absolutely had to. Now, he reported it to the coaches saying that he had soreness, and then the coaches ultimately shut him down. I wonder if there was a discrepancy, or was Shedeur okay with it, or was he just bringing it to their attention? Is this a precautionary thing from the coaches so it doesn't get worse? And again, it's significant because there is a quarterback battle going on, and obviously,
And merit terrifies them. Shedeur didn't ask permission to lead. He just did it. He didn't need to scream or throw helmets. He made pre-snap reads, threw with precision, commanded respect. And apparently, that's the fastest way to get benched in Cleveland. Meanwhile, the fans? They're watching this unfold with the kind of facial expressions usually reserved for slow-motion car crashes. Everyone can see the lie from space. The guy looks fine. He is fine. He's not limping. He's not icing anything. He's not sitting in the injury tent with a towel over his head. He's just standing there, in full pads, tossing passes, and mentally calculating how many more bad decisions this team can make before he demands a trade to a franchise that understands what a quarterback is supposed to do. But don't worry. The Browns are nothing if not committed to chaos. They've spent decades building a reputation as the NFL's most elaborate case of organizational self-sabotage. So this is just another notch in the wall of weird. A young quarterback with star potential, already showing mental toughness and leadership, getting shelved because vibes? That's not just dysfunctional. That's performance art.
Sanders, sitting out of team drills, not throwing. Team comes out afterwards saying that Shedeur has arm soreness. Kind of unusual timing. They do have the day off tomorrow, and maybe that's all it is, but considering he's fighting for a spot on this roster, granted that he's the most popular player on the team right now, just very interesting, concerning. How do you feel about it? Go Browns.
And let's not ignore the irony here. The Browns once traded for a quarterback with more legal baggage than a courthouse, and bent over backwards to call that leadership. But Shedeur shows up on time, outperforms expectations, stays locked in, and now suddenly they're pulling the plug before the lights even turn on? It's almost poetic. In a twisted, forehead-slapping kind of way. Maybe the Browns are trying something new. A reverse psychology approach to team development. Keep the best player off the field to preserve his mystique. Or maybe they've invented a new position, morale quarterback. Doesn't play. Doesn't throw. Just stands around reminding everyone what competence looks like. Whatever the strategy is, one thing's for sure, it has nothing to do with football. This is damage control dressed up as concern. And Shedeur? He knows it. You can see it in his body language. He's not limping, he's lounging. He's watching reps like a man observing a mildly interesting art exhibit. The kind of bored confidence you only get from someone who's already 5 steps ahead of the nonsense. If the Browns think this will break his stride, they clearly haven't done their homework. This is the guy who turned social media noise into fuel, who plays with a chip on both shoulders and a spreadsheet in his brain. They're not slowing him down, they're just giving him more time to memorize the playbook, the depth chart, and every face in the front office he'll be calling out by name when they come begging mid-season.
At the end of the day, that don't even make sense. Y'all steady trying to prove a point. But y'all ain't humbling nobody but y'all selves. You hear people chanting saying they want Shedeur. Your job is in jeopardy, sir. You hear me? Numbers don't lie. Women lie, men lie. Numbers don't lie. Shedeur has been the most consistent quarterback in camp. And it's not even close. The one in old man Joe Flacco, he is behind Shedeur Sanders. And he supports Shedeur. So at the end of the day, what is we really doing? Too many false narratives been floating around. Y'all been feeding the public nothing but negativity since y'all drafted Shedeur there. Yeah.
At this point, all that's missing is the Browns posting a grainy black and white photo of Shedeur with the caption, "Out indefinitely due to interdimensional portal fatigue." Because let's be honest, that would be only slightly less ridiculous than arm soreness. So while the team fumbles its way through another episode of As the Quarterback Room Turns, Shedeur's likely biding his time, visualizing blitz pickups, and mentally filing away every slight like a future ESPN documentary waiting to happen. They're not hiding him. They're bottling him up, and when the cork finally pops, it's going to be loud, accurate, and wildly inconvenient for the ones who tried to bury him with bubble wrap and excuses. Because say what you want about sore arms, phantom injuries, or training camp politics, Shedeur Sanders is just too calm, too sharp, and too ready to pretend like any of this will stop him. Which makes this entire saga not just laughable, but peak Browns. The wildest part? Even while the Browns are keeping Shedeur on an invisible leash, the guy is clearly the best quarterback in that building. It's not even subtle. Every time he touches the ball, it's like someone finally took the training wheels off the offense. Crisp throws, command of the pocket, composure under fire. Meanwhile, the others look like they're out there asking Siri how to read a defense. And yet, despite shining in every sliver of opportunity, Shedeur keeps getting the fewest reps. It's not strategy. It's sabotage with a clipboard.
I also can't blame anybody who says, I don't necessarily trust this coaching staff to develop a quarterback or to evaluate the quarterback position. They've made some really oddball decisions at this position over the last several years, and I don't blame anybody for questioning, do these guys actually know what they're doing?
I don't think that's unfair at all. The thing I would say is that they're desperate. They're very desperate. Like the entire organization is desperate. And if you really think they're going back to the coaches' offices and all getting around the table after sessions and being like, guys, Shedeur is unbelievable.
Meanwhile, it's not even a debate, it's a spectacle. Shedeur walks onto the field, and the tempo shifts. The offense suddenly clicks, receivers run their routes with purpose, and the defense tightens up because they know what's coming. But instead of leaning into that spark, the Browns are actively watering it down with quarterback karaoke, letting lesser talents sing off-key while the crowd begs for the main act. Gabriel? Nice guy, solid arm, great hair, but watching him run the offense feels like trying to watch Netflix with dial-up internet. Everything buffers. Nothing loads. And yet, for reasons buried deep in the dusty playbook of bad organizational habits, Cleveland just won't hand the keys over. Shedeur's clearly outworked everyone in that QB room. He's taken every rep they've begrudgingly thrown his way and turned it into a highlight reel. The rookies? Still figuring out which way the sun sets on the field. Shedeur? Already diagnosing blitz packages like he's been doing it for a decade. But what does he get for his trouble? A spot on the sideline, a vague injury label, and more shade than a solar eclipse. It's almost impressive how hard the Browns are trying not to win. They've got a quarterback dripping with potential, poise, and football IQ, and they're treating him like a guest who showed up early to a dinner party they forgot they were hosting. Meanwhile, the fans, they see it. They've watched this rodeo too many times.
Browns insider Darrell Reuter just exposed the truth behind this so-called quarterback competition. It's not real, just like I told you guys. It's rigged. The Browns front office never wanted Shedeur Sanders to win the job. They've been pushing Dillon Gabriel from the start, and now Reuter is peeling back the curtains. As you guys see, he's been going back and forth through this competition thing, and he's been having a lot of pushbacks. He had guys like Albert Breer, who was flat out racist, who calls out things against Shedeur, but he pushed back on what Albert had to say. There was a post.
The jerseys change, the slogans get recycled, but the incompetence? That's eternal. And this time, it's personal. Because this isn't just another case of development gone wrong. This is a franchise refusing to give a proven talent the shot he's earned. You can feel the frustration bubbling in the fanbase like a soda can that's been shaking for 20 years. People came into camp excited, finally, a quarterback who looks like he belongs. And not just belongs, dominates. But the Browns, never ones to pass up an opportunity to snatch defeat from the jaws of progress, seem to have decided that Shedeur's excellence is an inconvenience. Heaven forbid they let the best man win the job. That might force them to admit they misjudged. Again. Let's be real. This isn't about a sore arm, or needing time to develop, or protecting the rookie. This is about fear. Fear of being exposed. Because once Shedeur gets real reps with the ones, the whole house of cards falls. The pecking order gets nuked, the narratives collapse, and suddenly all the veteran leadership talk sounds like what it is, noise. It's easier to pretend he's not ready than to admit they've been holding back the one player who actually is.
Shedeur Sanders held out of drills today due to shoulder soreness. Cleveland, let me be the first one to tell y'all, Cleveland Browns, y'all full of shit. Okay? Your owner just came out this past week and said it wasn't his idea to draft Shedeur. Wasn't his call. Your asses better be lucky you got him. Because other than Baker Mayfield, which y'all got rid of for Mr. Touchy Touch, y'all ain't made the best or the brightest decisions as far as drafting quarterbacks.
And Shedeur? He's handling it like a pro. No theatrics, no subtweets, no passive-aggressive media tours. Just showing up, outworking everyone, and silently embarrassing the decision-makers with every throw he doesn't get to make in front of a crowd. That kind of discipline? That's dangerous, for the status quo, that is. Because every day he's sidelined, the pressure mounts. Every extra rep they give to someone else is another reminder that the Browns are doing what they do best, overthinking talent until it turns into regret. The contrast is impossible to ignore. Gabriel, for all his traits, doesn't command the field the way Shedeur does. He doesn't inspire confidence, rally teammates, or spark momentum. He's not bad, he's just not him. And deep down, everyone on that field knows it. You can see it in the way teammates react. When Shedeur's under center, guys run cleaner routes, linemen block a half second longer, and the entire sideline leans in. When he's benched, it's like someone hit the snooze button on the whole operation. The tragedy is how familiar this script is. Young talent, electric potential, clear edge over the competition, and the coaching staff fumbles the moment out of fear, pride, or politics. It's like they're more committed to protecting their mistakes than correcting them. And once again, the fans are left screaming into the void while the organization shrugs and says something vague about process.
We've been seeing and the information we've been receiving, I don't think I am. But yeah, nobody won a job because it's not a 4-man race, it's a 3-man race. The other individual, which is Shedeur Sanders, that you took in the 5th round, y'all are not really paying no attention to what he's doing, clearly. Clearly, y'all not giving him no opportunity to run with the runs, see what he can do with the runs. But y'all, go ahead. That little 3rd round pick that y'all took, y'all giving him all the love. Y'all showing all the love. The motherfucker who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers and last year the Philadelphia Eagles, y'all giving him all the burn. Y'all giving him all the love. Man, I can't help but just talk about what I see, bruh. I only just see what y'all see, bruh, and I'm just speaking on it. But yeah, y'all, nobody won the job yet because the 3 guys that they've been forcing to be the best quarterback, trying to force to be the best quarterback on the team, haven't done what they wanted them to do yet.
But the process is clear. It's a merry-go-round of mediocrity. A carousel of caution where the boldest move the Browns ever make is not making one. And while Shedeur keeps stacking silent wins, Cleveland's brass is busy holding meetings to decide which underwhelming option looks the least threatening to their carefully curated pecking order. But this pressure cooker won't hold forever. Fans aren't stupid, and neither is the locker room. You can't hide greatness behind weak excuses forever. Eventually, the dam breaks. Someone fumbles. A starter underwhelms. The crowd starts chanting. The media catches wind. And suddenly, the Browns will be forced to do the thing they've been actively avoiding, admit that Shedeur Sanders is not just ready, he's essential. Because whether they like it or not, the truth keeps bleeding through the cracks, he's better than what they've got, and he's done more with less. And every day they delay is just another reminder of what everyone can see, he's the one. He's the future. He's already theirs to lose.